Hi, and welcome back to La Rosa Reads. Today, I am going to be discussing with all of you my favorite book covers of 2021. I love book covers. It's like that looking for that person that you're attracted to and what attracts you to them. It's kind of the same way with book covers. So, let's talk books. So I'm a little giddy for this episode of La Rosa Reads because we are talking about book covers, and I am just so mesmerized by book covers. And when I walk into the bookstore, I just have book covers that just draw me to them. It's kind of like this attraction, this love at first sight. And it kind of reminds me of, when you have that type of person that you're attracted to and you're looking for those qualities. And then when you see all of those qualities and characteristics in that person, that special someone, you're just like drawn to them. It's like, you're like a magnet. So that's kind of how I feel about book covers. I know that sounds a little weird and it kind of puts my full book nerd self on full display. But hey, this is why I'm on La Rosa Reads and have a booktube channel, because I'm with fellow book lovers. So I think you guys get it, right? All right, you guys, so I have 4 favorite book covers of the year 2021. I am so excited to share these book covers with you. And not only do these book covers have some similar characteristics, they have a similar word, the same word in most of the book titles. So I'm sure you'll catch on soon. That is sheer coincidence, you guys. I wasn't drawn to the titles as much as I was the covers. And, it is what it is. So starting off with number 4, we have The Other Black Girl. This book is written by Zakiya Dahlia Harris, and I saw this in the bookstore and was just immediately drawn to it. In fact, I remember seeing this cover on Goodreads prior to entering the bookstore and seeing the book on full display. First of all, that Afro pick is everything. Next, this beautiful, strong Black woman in all of her Blackness and beauty was like, superb. I was just like, yes, girl, I love you. I think I'm gonna love this book because you're on the cover. So I just wanna say, this profile is sheer perfection. Looking at all of the things that make us Black women beautiful. I love it when the letters are raised on the book cover. So the texture, the depth, the different textures on the book draw me. I'm a very, I'm all about the senses. I'm a multi-sensory learner. I love to feel different textures. It just does something to my senses and further draws me to and connects me to the book. So the jacket illustration is designed by Timmy Coker. And I just have to say to Timmy, kudos to you, love your artwork. It is absolutely stunning. So, did this book deliver? Did the content deliver? Because today I'm not only going to share with you my favorite book covers of 2021, I'm going to just answer the question, did the actual content, did the book match the stunning illustrations or cover art? Did it deliver? I have to say that this book received so much hype and I'm a little on the fence with it, to be honest with you. The book for me was really not quite what I expected, and sometimes that can be a good thing. In this case, it was a little bit of a disappointment. I was a little disappointed in the pacing and the switch, the flip in the storyline. I don't want to give too much away. I'm going to be one of those really very vague booktubers when it comes to describing books, because I don't want to give a summary that pretty much tells you what the book's about. That's like a pet peeve of mine. I really do encourage you guys to check out the books that I share. And so without giving too much away, there's this storyline of a black woman, a young black woman who is working for a publishing company, and she was the only black woman at this publishing company. And then another black girl comes onto the scene. And so for all of us who are in the professional world who identify as black, this is such a special moment. When you are a member of a marginalized group, you are always looking for another person that identifies the way you identify. So in this book, things kind of go awry. So it kind of gave me the single white female vibes. If you are a 90s person, a person of the 90s who actually checked out that movie, I still remember that movie like I watched it yesterday. So there was a little bit of the single white female vibes in the other black girl, and I was thinking, ooh, is this gonna turn into like a thriller? And then there was this parallel storyline of two black authors who had written this incredible piece of literary art in the early 80s, I wanna say, if I remember correctly. And so I felt like drawn to that storyline, so parallel with the story of the two black girls working at this publishing company is this other storyline of two black women in the literary world who were working together, and their relationship really suffered with their success. I think I got about to here, and all of a sudden the story just kind of took a turn for not the worse or not the better. It just took a turn, and I'm like, what? Now I'm reading sci-fi? Like, what you doing to me here, girl? Like, I was with you, and now you're taking me somewhere else. I was a little confused. Nonetheless, I think this book, as someone who supports Black authors, I think this book is worth you picking up and seeing what you think about it, you know? You having your own experience. I had my experience. I want you to have your experience with the book. I must say that I definitely like the cover art better than I like the actual book. Black Buck is back, y'all. You know how I feel about Black Buck. So, oh my goodness, I feel like you guys are gonna be sick of me and Black Buck because I've already done another video about Black Buck for one of my surprise reads of 2021. And here I go again. So, Matteo Ascaripor, I believe, Ascaripor. If I didn't say that right, Matteo, I am so sorry. I was practicing, and then, I get in front of the camera and, I start sweating a little bit. But love you. I hope I got your name pronounced correctly. With that being said, I've already shared in my surprise reads of 2021 video what drew me to pick up this book. Again, the brown hand, the coffee cup. I am obsessed with coffee, and I didn't mention in my previous video, any kind of reference to New York City is something that draws me. I lived in New York City, oh gosh, it's been a while. I just realized in 2003, I moved to New York City and did the struggling artist thing where I was living off of hot dogs and macaroni and cheese and a dream. Yes, your girl was a dancer, a singer, songwriter, actress, and I was doing the New York thing for a while. With that being said, I have a deep-rooted love for New York City. So yes, this reference, I believe this is the Empire State Building. I absolutely love that. The colors popped out at me. It gave me a little vibe of the early 90s, when it was like that Afrocentric, you had the medallion. And so there's some Afrocentric colors here with a little bit of a modern 2020 twist to it. So that drew me, the color scheme. I just really was super excited to get this book. And if you already watched that video, you know that not only did the contents of this book match the cover art as far as my expectations, the actual book exceeded my expectations. So kudos to and shout out to the artist. Ooh, the jacket illustration is by Rupert Meets. So kudos to Rupert Meets. I have to say this jacket illustration is one of my favorites not just of 2021, but one of my favorites ever. Coming in at number 2 is The Black Kids by Christina Hammonds Reed. I don't know why I'm so tongue-tied today, but Christina Hammonds Reed is amazing. I had the wonderful, wonderful opportunity to communicate with her and interview her. I just absolutely love her as an author, as an artist, as a human being. So Christina Hammonds Reed is like just up there for me as far as authors whom I just absolutely adore and am inspired by and want to just read more and more and more of their books. So Christina, come on now. We're waiting for you to just keep these books coming. So The Black Kids, this book cover, oh my gosh. So once again, you're noticing a little theme. I know there's a theme here. There's actually a couple of themes. Theme number 1 are Black people. See a lot of Black people, and that is definitely something that I notice about these favorite book reads and book covers. And then in the title is the word Black. So first and foremost, before we get into what I love about the book cover, we've got to give a shout out to the artist. So the jacket design is by Lucy Ruth Cummins. The jacket illustration is by Adriana Bellet. And I just have to say, you guys, this is one of my all-time favorite covers for so many reasons. First and foremost, the colors on the cover. I love this hot pink, and I'll explain more to you about this book, like the summary of it. It takes place in 1992 in LA during the LA race riots. And so, you know, you think of hot pink in the 90s, the shades, the palm trees. I just love that color, that hot pink. It really pops. We've got a little bit of the neon green going on. I love the choices that the artist has made because it just really helps you connect with what the book is about. It's really amazing how you have this character. She's, you know, wearing these sunglasses. She's in LA. But if you look closely, these palm trees are on fire. And like I said, this book takes place during the LA race riots. And so there's a lot of juxtaposition, maybe is the word I'm looking for. I don't know. Or there's just two things at play here. You see beauty, you see sexiness, you see exotic scenery of like the palm trees and LA and all that makes LA like exotic and sexy and fun. But then you see the expression on the main character's face. You could read so much from that, you know, like, is she like just looking like, I'm so cool, I'm looking out? But then when you look at her sunglasses and you see the palm trees on fire, you see them burning, you're just really left to think, what is happening in this character's mind? What is going on? And so that was really something that drew me to this book. Knowing what had happened during that time, yet also seeing this cover made me think, what do I not remember? Or what do I not know? Because I didn't live in LA. And I know this is a realistic fiction piece, historical fiction, but I felt like there was more for me to learn, given the fact that, yes, I lived during that time. And I was so intrigued and so blown away by this book that I actually created a mini course at my school where I work. I'm the director of diversity, equity, inclusion at an all-girls school. And so I created a mini course for the upper school students where we read this book together and we really unpacked all the many, many, many layers that were in this book. So Ashley Bennett, in all of her glory, the protagonist in this book, is on the cover, and she is someone who you end up having a love-hate relationship with her, and you're kind of like, girl, come on. Like, you know better, or you should know better. And then you're like, oh, but she's learning and she's growing, just like we're all learning and growing. So I just really went on this journey, this roller coaster journey with Ashley, the main character. And I just have to say, this book and the cover delivers. I highly recommend it. I just absolutely loved it, and I love the author. My number one favorite book cover of 2021 is, drumroll, this book, this cover, it is everything. Where do I begin? First and foremost, the feel of the book. That kind of looked a little weird, didn't it? Not like groping his face, but the feel of the book, the texture is just so satisfying. It is stellar, it is amazing, it is magnificent. Then you look at the cover art. When I flip this over to the back cover, it gives you 1980s vibes when we're thinking about DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. You guys, so many of us have grown up with Will Smith. If you've grown up with Will Smith, give me a thumbs up right now, okay? Go in the comments and let's talk, because this book cover, before you even open the book, it takes you on the journey. So you've got the graffiti, the 1980s vibes. This cover, the front is absolutely brilliant. So the title, the simplicity of the title, the simplicity of the font for the title is sheer perfection. We see this image of Will Smith, and it's just this look on his face, this like pensive look, like that pained look. You know that look that Will Smith gives you, you know, in his movies, like that pained look, like he's been through some things and he's about to go through some more things, and you just feel so bad for him that it's just taking you on this journey where you're going through some things. Yeah, he's got that look, that pensive look, you know. It's like this combination of vulnerability, resilience, strength, you know, all the things that make Will Smith, the man that we know and love, the man, the myth, the legend. Whether you're curious about him as an artist, as, you know, a human being, if you're like a little nosy about his relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith, you know, I know some of y'all out there, you just wanting to get the dirt, you know, you just wanting to, you know, you spill the tea. You're like, come on, Will, spill the tea. Tell us something we don't know about you and Jada. Look, I know. For whatever it is that brought you to this book, I'm here to tell you it has a cover that will always be ingrained in your mind. It is absolutely breathtaking. And the jacket art is by B. Mike. So that name I could pronounce. This cover art is just spectacular. Just like everything Will Smith does. I feel like everything this man does is just done to perfection, with intention, with deep thought and commitment and dedication to giving us his best self. And that's exactly what he does with the art. And if you're wanting to know if the book, the contents of this memoir, matched or exceeded the breathtaking cover art, you'll just have to watch my video on the book review. So that wraps up today's episode of my favorite book covers of 2021. I just love this book cover so much that I'm not going to let it go, as I tell you to be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and ring that bell, because we need to stay connected and we need to talk books. I will see you soon. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.